does your statement reflect the position of beneficiaries, including Chelsea, and or are you privy to any negotiations that have started without the consent of the beneficiaries, who you say were given the property before? Then to the lawyer, you said you've appointed Mike Sonko to be the champion of the beneficiary. Have you contacted Sonko to confirm the appointment, or it is now that you're making it maybe public to him to know that? And then secondly, there is already a court case that has been filed seeking review of the judgment. I would like to know the position regarding the matter, because part of the affidavit filed by the application is that the land is owned by that zone that you said. Manado claims so. What do you think about that? Because there's also claiming that the land was bought in 1966 the same way that you claim, and therefore is in danger to that effect. So I would also like to know the position of that. Then,
As I stated before, yes, the administrators of the estate are Teresia Wairimo and Anne Wangari Mushoki Kirima. They are also part of the beneficiaries of the estate of Gerishon Kamau Kirima. The beneficiaries were established over 10 years ago by Justice Isaac Leneora, who listed all the children and all the beneficiaries. They are part and parcel of that order, but the beneficiaries have not appointed them to negotiate or act on behalf of the beneficiaries in this dual matter. I hope that clarifies the position. I am not aware of any negotiations that Anne Wangari Kirima and Teresia Wairimo have been carrying out with people who are in Jiro, but I would like to clarify that if they are doing so, they are not doing so on behalf of the beneficiaries to whom the land is vested by way of a High Court order over 10 years ago. In terms of the other applications that have been made, this is the right of every Kenyan to make applications. We are abiding by the existing ruling, which took over 12 years to determine, is on 192 pages. That is the court order. And everyone is at liberty to challenge. It's a free country, but until and unless that ruling is overturned or changed, that is the law that all of us need to abide to. In terms of, sorry, go ahead.
About the judgment, you talked about the affidavit filed in court.
This case went through the whole process of adjudication. There was discoveries, there was sharing of documents. It has taken a period of 12 years. So any party who had any document, they had the right to share it with the court so that the court would come with the best determination. But after the act, after the verdict, you cannot introduce new evidence because parties are limited to their pleadings. So whatever they are trying to introduce at the moment, that the Musunga has come back, is the children are disputing the cell, those are acrobatism. You know, it is very dangerous to joke around with people's lives. Do not politicize lives, because moja alituambia siasa mbaya, maisha mbaya, because these are people who have suffered for 12 years, the beneficiaries. The victims are people who have been misled to purchase land which was not there, because land you must have title. So if you purchase the air, you cannot say you purchase land. That's why we are saying the political class who are trying to politicize this process, they are not doing anybody service. They just want votes for 2027. But it is immoral for people who are leaders, who are supposed to be role models, to go on TV and lie to Kenyans. It is immoral. That's what we are saying. And we are going to insist that once the court has made its pronouncement, There is an hierarchy of courts. If you are dissatisfied, you escalate that issue to another court to file it, set it aside, or overrule it. But so long as that judgment stands, that is the law of the land. Those are the principles that guide us. That's why we are called a democracy. We respect the rule of law and due process. So we are very clear in our mind that the court has done in its part, and we respect the court's ruling. So we will pursue that. Then the other issue, you asked about whether Song is aware we have appointed him. That we will reprove him after. We didn't want to alert him before we do this, because we can see opportunities are getting many. So we want him to deal with this political class who are misleading, who are bringing in narratives of fake news, lies and distortions about a very serious issue.
Just to respond to your question on appointments, I'd like to make it absolutely clear that Teresia Wairimu and Anne Kirima have not been given the right, or have they been appointed to act or negotiate on behalf of myself as a beneficiary, or, as far as I'm aware, on behalf of any other beneficiaries. And I'd just like to make clear the issue of the self-appointment of Michael Zenko, who is trying to help those who are caught up in this situation. For his own reasons, he's done it before, he's had a lot of success before, and I cannot misrepresent all the other beneficiaries and say that we have appointed him, but this is his lawyer. We happen to share a lawyer, and he has approached the lawyer, Mr. Ndieki, and asked if he can assist. I hope that's clear. And we welcome any assistance we can get to bring an end to this frightful, challenging and difficult situation.
Okay, so what are you telling today residents who bought land from people, one of the original owners? Because the court has made a decision. These people have timelines until December 31 to decide their future. You, as beneficiary of Kirima family, have you had a meeting to contemplate on how you're going to carry this matter forward? Or what message do you have for them? Is it you're ready for negotiation? Have you met the family to discuss how you can negotiate with them? Or what is the status of the matter as a family?
The status of the matter as a family is what I just said, which is there is a due process. We cannot negotiate amorphously. We need to establish what's even on the ground. Nobody has clarity on that yet. Once we establish what's on the ground, carry out a survey of what's on the ground, who's living there, how many families, where are they staying, is there any vacant land at all, or is it all occupied? We will then be in a better position to know the next step. The next step after that is the court has asked us to conclude the purchases of certain individuals who'd started buying when Daddy was alive, and therefore we need to establish who they are, verify all their documentation, establish how much had they paid, how much is yet due to be paid. Third step, we need to carry out current market valuation, investment valuation, to find out what amount of money are we talking about, because without that there is no basis to negotiate. Once that is established, we are then in a position to identify and group together the people who we need to be talking to adhere to the court order. And that's the status as we speak. None of those things have yet been done. We are currently trying to establish a survey of what is actually on the ground. And we've asked the government to help us in that regard to establish what is it that is on the ground.
One final question. You said the administrator of the properties are not allowed to negotiate on behalf of the family. Now,
let me clarify. The administrators of the estate, yes, do not have the mandate or the authority or have been requested or are acting upon the beneficiaries to whom the land has already been distributed.
So we have two parties, the Kirima family and the Agric family. So I would like to know how many beneficiaries are of the property, and in case of anybody who wants to intervene in this project, because we're going to write a story about it. as a family or as an individual speaking on behalf of the family, who is going to talk on behalf of the family? Are they going to talk to individual beneficiaries, or there is a specific person appointed to speak on behalf of the family?
That is part of what we're going to agree as beneficiaries. Yes. So that the negotiations go through all the beneficiaries and all the beneficiaries' interests are protected.
In fact, they have established a committee called KIPEC. KIPEC means the... Yeah.
It means Kirima Beneficiaries Committee. That's what they have established.
That's correct.
Yeah. So that is the umbrella body that is going to champion this process. And as we have said, we will incorporate people of goodwill, including the one we have mentioned, Mike Mbuvi Songo, because of his experience and exposure to help this process, because it is a huge process. We are talking of almost 40,000 people to help narrow the controversy and streamline it to genuine people who want to be assisted. Yeah, because there are so many opportunities who are taking advantage. So, and we don't have that capacity to deal with that amorphous group. But it is easier to appoint somebody who has the expertise and experience to bring those people together. Then we can be able to deal with KIPEC, which is the Kirima Beneficiaries Committee, which incorporates all the beneficiaries, so that even if there is any resolution, it will come within the framework of the beneficiaries. Yeah.
Who are the members in that committee?
There are the 15 beneficiaries. The court established that there are 15 beneficiaries of the Kirima estate.
So which one is the true position? Bishop is saying sit down and come up with a way. You are saying there is a committee.
Well, she can clarify that there is a KIPEC. She can clarify that.
Yes, what I'm saying is that the beneficiaries, all the beneficiaries of the estate of our late father and mother, Agnes Waldo, has already been determined. It was determined over 10 years ago, and therefore the property already vests in the beneficiaries. So, for want of clarification, they are the ones, the 15 beneficiaries, to protect all their interests, who are going to negotiate on their own behalf and on their own individual portions. In my part, I have not appointed anyone to negotiate on my behalf for my portion. I trust that clarifies the situation. Thank you.
But Teresia is the one who went to court.
No, the estate of Gerishon Kamau Kirima went to court, of whom Teresia Warimo and Anne Wangari Mushoki Kirima are administrators of the estate. And the interest of the estate was represented by them, but the land has already been distributed over 10 years ago. So the people whose vested interest is in the land are the beneficiaries, 15 beneficiaries that have already been determined by the court. Yes?
Teresia and Anna are the wives of
No, they are not the wives. Teresia and Anna are the administrators, and they also form part of the beneficiaries. Yes, well, my late mother, Agnes Walugoro Kirima, is the one who bought the land with our father, Gerishon Kamau Kirima, in 1966. But the court 10 years ago established all the beneficiaries. So it includes her, it includes the children. All the beneficiaries have been established and agreed upon, and the papers filed in court. And the land has been distributed to the beneficiaries.
Thank you.
Okay. And for avoidance of doubt, Teresia is a wife to the deceased, and Anne is a daughter, so that you have clear facts about that issue. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Yes, it's very good. So that's good. Thank you so much.